What's up, guys? This is Bless and that boy Trey over there. We gonna be tackling a big project on my Integra, and yeah, it's crazy because today I gotta swap my subframe, which I just painted. I'm also doing a power steering delete because my power steering pump is actually going bad. So might as well just knock out two birds, one stone. And then after that, I gotta replace my head because my valves are ticking, and so I bought another head for it. But that's gonna be in another video, but y'all gotta stay tuned for it. And Trey wants to introduce y'all to the shit box.
Again, gliding on your friends. Notice PYT out DIE for SMG, so PIE need a guy like me. I'll spread her wings. I'm broke as hell and I'm scared to fail. Chasing love with the verse of luck. With the dogs I got, rebound the buck. I hit 21 with a.
Alright. Anything you want to say?
Not really, but
Talk to the people.
what's up, people? It's your boy Trey. You feel me? Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Static Creep. That's Static Creep, spelled like Static Creep. My YouTube channel is also Static Creep. You feel me? But yeah, this is my shit box, man. I love it. 2000 Integra LS. B18. It's an auto. Manual swap coming eventually. So yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's static. It's on washers. I got I think 19 washers on each strut. But I'm actually might go lower today. Take off a couple and live my best life, you know? So until then, y'all have a wonderful day.
Again, gliding on your friends. Notice PYT out DIE for SMG, so PIE need a guy like me. I'll spread her wings. I'm broke as hell and I'm scared to fail. Chasing love with the verse of luck. With the dogs I got, rebound the buck. I hit 21 with a.
The reason we are swapping the subframe is because there is a hole in my subframe because my bolt for the lower control arm pulled the threads, and I just put a bolt behind it, tried to weld it, and JB welded, and it's still holding, like I can still drive it. It's just kind of sketchy because when I hit the brake I can hear it clunking back and forth, so we're just gonna swap it so I don't have that problem anymore. And the power steering is kind of going anyway, which I had for my Honda Civic, but God didn't want that to happen. Mother Nature didn't either. So yeah, that car is in the junkyard, or probably crushed now. But yeah, I have a manual rack from that car and everything I need to swap it. So we're gonna do that and replace the subframe. Hopefully all in this video. So let's get it. Oh, this is the hole and everything. Let's get it. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is try to disconnect the shift linkage because I tried to disconnect it once before and I had troubles getting it out. So that's gonna be the first thing I do, because the bitch pin, kind of a bitch, so I'm gonna try to get that out first. All right, so after about 30 minutes of trying to get it out, hammer it out with the hammer and the punch, I think we came to the conclusion that it's probably welded. in there. So I'm gonna take my Dremel tool or my drill and try to drill it out. But yeah, I'm gonna show y'all. If y'all can see, hopefully y'all can see. Let me let me grab some light for y'all. But you see, that's where the hole is for the pin. And if you look inside, focus. When you look inside, it's just kind of a glob in there, it looks like. So most likely it's welded. So I'm gonna just try to drill it out and get that off, and just gonna have to order another pin for it.
Yeah. Hey, I've been wasting my time. You ain't been hitting my line. Signals, but where are the signs? Love is the biggest offense.
Alright, so
Hello, good people.
So after about 30 minutes,
45
probably
hours.
about 45 minutes, I'm trying to drill that out. I didn't use this drill and my other drill, and yeah, it's still not like going through for some reason, so I might just disconnect it from the back and just drop it down like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this exhaust, get that out of the way, and finish on with the project. All right, so we got the exhaust off. And we got the wheels off on both sides. So next thing I'm going to do is go in the inside, make sure the steering wheel is as straight as possible. Inside, steering wheel straight. So now we have to go down here, this little plastic thing, this tab, and then there's another tab. Get that out of the way. There's another tab here. Just pop those out, take this cover off. Once you got that off, you'll be exposed to this. It's literally these two clips here. I literally used a long flathead screwdriver. But yeah, once you get here, you have to take out this bolt here and another bolt down there where my finger is. And those are two 10 mil bolts. You take those out, you disconnect the steering rack from the steering U-joint, which is this piece here, and then you separate it, pull it up, and then you're disconnected from the rack. Alright, so with the top bolt, you do have to turn the steering wheel. So that's what I'm doing now. Turn the steering wheel left or right. The choice is yours. Just enough so you can get the bolt on top. Oh, scared myself. Alright, like that. And the wheel's like that now. And then you take that bolt out, turn it back straight, and then do the bottom one. So that way the wheels are still pointing straight when you take everything apart. Alright, once the top bolt is out, you just turn the wheel back straight. Go ahead and take the key out. Try to keep that as straight as possible. Go down here. Oh, and there was one little tab right here. You literally just pop this out from right there, and this whole thing comes out. But yeah, once you turn the wheel back straight, you go down here, you grab this bolt, go ahead and break it loose. And then once you get this out, like so, this slides up and out just like that. And you kind of have just, you take this out, keep the wheel straight as possible. If you have one of those things that, you know, keeps the steering wheel straight, that works best, but I don't, so just gonna have to try to keep that as straight as possible. So now that that's out, you can go under the car and start taking stuff apart from under there, which I will show you right now. Alright, so next I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the tie rods and take the lower control arm out. The tie rod, disconnect that, and disconnect the lower control arm from this little bracket here and here, so I can get ready to drop the subframe. Go ahead and disconnect the sway bar links and just go ahead and start disconnecting everything. Alright, got the tie rod out. So once I got that out, I'm gonna just let that hang and put the nut on the back of it so I don't lose it. And the next thing I'm gonna do is take off the sway bar links. Alright, so take out the sway bar link after you take out the tie rod. And try to keep everything in. So next, you want to take a 7/8, put it around the lock nut, and well, you're gonna have to put it back in, but just turn it a little bit to break it loose and get the tie rod off. Alright, so once you break it loose, you should be able to spin it and the lock nut will stay in place, and you just spin it off. When you break it loose, just break it loose and then put it right back where it was. So when you put the new rack, when I put the new rack in, I can see how many threads will be on it. So like it'll be close to straight, but I'll still have to get it aligned afterwards. Next, I'm going to take out the sway bar link bushing. These two bolts here at 12 millimeters. Alright, so now I got the sway bar disconnected and loose. So now I'm going to disconnect the shift linkages from here and try to get that to drop. Alright, we got one part of the sway bar link, I mean not sway bar link, we got one part of the shift linkage disconnected. We got the sway bar out. So next we're going to take 19 millimeter. We're gonna take a 19 millimeter and get those two bolts out. That bolt, 17 for this lower control arm. The other side, I'm gonna have to leave the lower control arm in, just take it out with the subframe. I'll show you guys why in a second. And yep, should be ready to come down. And there's one more bolt there, and hopefully once those bolts are out, the subframe should come down, and then I have to disconnect the steering rack. Alright, so once you break the bolts back here loose, take this bolt, which is a 17, and you go ahead and take that out.
Feeding on son. Feeding on son. Feeding on the hunt again. Plotting on your friends. Know this PYT out DIE for SMG. So PIE need a guy like me. I'll spread her wings. I'm broke as hell and I'm scared to fail. chasing love with the worst of luck. With the dogs I got, we bound to bark. I hit 21 with a sight to see. Mama, look, your boy's a rapper and I'm oh so dapper. And I got some plays and they may look average, but that's okay, the only way is up. If I press my luck, I'ma catch a break, then make a buck. Once I get a buck, know you got a palace. If the pearly gates may be my call, know I'm open arms when they ring alarms.
Alright, so that's disconnected. Just do the same to the other side. Alright, so next is disconnecting the power steering rack. Two hoses down here. See if I can get my hand down there. It's this hose right here, and this hose down there, and that hose here, and this one here. You have to disconnect those, and then once you disconnect those, you should be able to go ahead and start removing everything, like the power steering bracket, all the hard lines, and the lines going behind the radiator. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect those from the bottom. Alright guys, so once you get the hoses off, which is right here, and the other one is in my hand, but it connects here. I didn't get it all the way off, I just cut the hose. Just let all the fluid leak out. Of course, try to keep it in the pan, keep it clean. And yeah, while that drains out, I'm gonna start removing the lines from up top. Go ahead. Alright, so we gotta take these two bolts out. Once you take these out, this pops up. The fluid should be out of the line. And go back here. So once you disconnect that sensor from down yonder, kind of snake it up. Pop this out, and power steering line is out. Okay, there's a 10 mil here. Take this 10 mil out because this is one of the power steering fluid goes through. Normally you will have to take the cruise control off, but I don't have cruise control. So once you do that, you should be able to slide this thing up. Pop this kind of out of that. Take some.
You got a 17 over there?
Disconnect this hose. Alright, disconnect this hose from the reservoir. Holy Moses.
Oh!
Got a little fluid everywhere, but you know, it's alright. And come over here. Oh, we got a little leakage going on.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, again, it's alright. It's alright. Put the pan under.
Once I get a buck, know you got a palace. If the pearly gates may be my
Right under the pan, we golden. Let that drain out. Alright, so kind of break this loose to get this to have some play in it. It's a 12 millimeter. So what you do, get that loop to get the tension off the belt. Take the 14s.
call, know I'm open arms when they ring alarms. Yeah, but I've been wasting my time. You ain't.
Oh no.
There's another 12 at the bottom.
There's another 12 at the bottom. Go ahead and get that.
See, it dropped down. Take the belt off. Get that out of the way. And go ahead and take the bracket off. Get that out of there. So you do have to take the bolt out all the way, that 12 adjuster bolt at the bottom. And then once you get that out, you can just take these 14s out of here.
Head of my line, sinners will wear the signs, love is the biggest offense.
Once the 12mm bolts are out, and you take this and unscrew it from the top of the power steering pump.
Feeding off sin,
And the power steering pump comes out. Alright, so to take this bracket off, there is, looks like a 10mm at the bottom there. Where my finger is, it's a 10mm in there.
I've been wasting my time.
So as you get that out, bracket comes off. Now they have no power steering pump. Okay guys. So once you get the bracket off and the heat shield off, you're gonna break loose these bolts for the power steering lines. It's for the cooler. It's one bolt here, one bolt here, and another bolt here. These two bolts are actually for the power steering reservoir. But once you get everything those out, I'll show you guys what's next.
You ain't been in my line, sinners will wear the signs, love is the biggest offender, feeding off sin, feeding.
The reservoir bracket is now out. Garbage.
To the graveyard.
To the graveyard. To the gulag.
To the gulag.
Alright, there's two soft lines here. One here and one here. Just try to disconnect that. Looks like a Phillips head. Philip! Where are you, Philip? I found Philip. Oh no, Philip. Okay. Maybe there's another way.
That is weird, dude.
10mm. Ratchet. You know what? I'm gonna do like I did the other one. Just cut it. Oh! Never mind, guys. Apparently mine doesn't have the cooler lines for the power steering. Apparently the hose is just looped around, so I'm just gonna leave that in there.
Backyard near you. Be there, be there, be there. Don't be lame.
Alright, now I got that up. Try to follow it around. There's one more 10mm right there. Once you get that out, hard line should come out.